Hey guys, Dr. Kori here. Welcome to Monday. This is going to be a little bit different today. I can call it a Monday motivational mastery session, but I just really wanted to work through something with you guys, and it's fear. I can't tell you how many emails I've received just this past week about fear of failure, about fear of change, about fear of not being able to do what you want to, about fear of not being able to follow through, about fear of success too, fear of actually accomplishing what you've wanted for so long. And guys, the first thing I think of when I hear the word fear is the physiological reaction that occurs when we say we're scared or we're fearful, or we go into those what ifs, and the what if is followed by very negative, hurtful, dangerous, or uncomfortable consequences. The body is put into a position when we feel threatened, put into a position to protect us. And let's be real here. Let's get very clear that most of what we are fearing, right, isn't actually going to hurt us. And this is where mindset and attitude come into play, because I could look at any one of those situations that I am labeling as fearful or uncomfortable or negative and approach it in a totally opposite way. I could say, all right, I'm going to approach this with a mindset of assertiveness. I'm going to approach this with a mindset of curiosity. I'm going to approach this with a mindset of zest and vitality and enthusiasm. I'm going to approach this with a mindset of open-mindedness, okay? Judgment. I'm going to approach this with a mindset of courage. I'm going to approach this with a mindset of humility. You see where I'm going here? We actually have a choice. We have a choice regarding the attitude that we're going to carry into whatever it is that we are thinking about avoiding. Okay? There's an emotional piece to this, and there's an intellectual piece to this. There's a decision to be made, and then there's the accompanying body position that we need to really consider in order to make the move and take the action. Now, I call this mindset piece attentional positioning, or we can call it attitudinal. I love that word. We can call it attitudinal positioning. We need to ask ourselves, hang on a second. When we feel that twinge of fear, and when I say feel, I mean inside our bodies, because we're only going to label something necessarily as fearful if we have some sort of cue or symptom that indicates to us that this could potentially not be a good idea, right? So, what am I paying attention to? I can pay attention to my heart beating faster. Okay, I can pay attention to like tightness in my chest. I could pay attention to maybe like tension behind my eyes. Maybe I'm going to label that as a headache. And then we get to ask, what am I connecting all of those things to? Okay, most people will feel what they'll call a headache and immediately then think, oh, man, this isn't good. I wonder what's wrong. Like, or I need to move out of this feeling. I need to avoid it. I'm going to go get some Tylenol, or I haven't had my Monster for the day, or I need coffee, right? When we feel those things, what we connect it to is pain and discomfort. And our goal is to, like I said, protect from that. And so we're going to try to avoid it and move towards feeling better. All right. On the flip side, this side right here, and they're connected, guys. We can't necessarily separate them. But when we look at our mindset and our attitude, again, it's connected to the connections that we're making between the physical symptoms, the things that are going on the inside of our bodies, to a meaning. Okay? I could connect a faster heartbeat with excitement. Bring it on. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, those are three of my statements, my mantras that I make to move myself into a new attitude, a new mindset. When I may feel that energy sort of draining, okay, I know that I need to level up. Okay, I pay attention to it, but I make sure to not make negative connections to it. Okay, this is what positioning our attitudes is all about, and we need to learn to recognize what attitudes we have attached to different feelings in our bodies. You know, the email that I received from a client, she said, I don't want to be stuck anymore. I don't know why I feel so afraid of change. And more so, maybe I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to sustain the change. This is a weight loss client, okay? But we're clearly working on a lot of psychology and mindset and the emotional piece of this. And she described her shoulders feeling tight, tightness in her chest. Her breathing becomes shallow. Again, and these are all things that, yes, typically most of us would consider related to panic, or discomfort or fear. And again, I'm going to encourage you, it depends on how you label it. I don't think that most people fear change. I think that most people are skeptical about the process of change because there are a lot of unknowns. There are a lot of uncertainties. And our brain really likes closed loops. It likes everything neatly packaged and put together, you know, because that conserves energy. If we don't have to think really hard and make a lot of effort and it feels easy and convenient, I think our minds automatically go to, well, then this must be the right path. Except, guys, that's not the way to growth. It's not the way, that's not how we learn. We learn by engaging in new and novel experiences. And what's attached to novelty? Unknownness, uncertainty. They go hand in hand. We can't disconnect them. Think about all the times you gravitate and move towards novelty and uncertainty. Like when you go on vacation, you're going someplace new, someplace different. You're going to have to think about things in a different way. But you do that voluntarily. What would happen if you transferred that same level of enthusiasm and energy, joy in moving towards uncertainty and unknowns, to the other areas of your lives where you're fearful and you think, I might not be able to do it? Transfer it over and see what might happen. That's awesome. You know, my client asked me, how do you do it? How do you do, Kori? How do you always operate with that vitality? And you know, I told her, I said, I haven't always been this way. This super energetic Kori has not always been here. I used to be pretty depressed and morose, really skeptical. I had a very negative, pessimistic attitude. And, it was at a time in my life when the environment, and I won't blame it on my environment, but it certainly impacted and influenced, my emotions and my mindset. That didn't facilitate me feeling free and empowered and like I could be myself and like I could show up as my best, which my best is when I can be authentic and when I'm not looking for external validation everywhere and when I feel effective to make change in my life. So I wasn't always this way, and I had to explain that to her, what it meant I needed to do when I recognized where I was at, and I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't want to go through life that way anymore. I had to make the decision. I had to make the commitment to change and maintain that commitment. That was the other commitment, that if I felt myself slide, felt myself slide backwards, you know what? I recognized it was easier to stand in my integrity, to stand there and come back to a sense of alignment than to keep sliding backwards and go back to my old ways. Guys, anything you do, anything you say, anything you feel has the potential to become a habit. What do you want to become a habit in your life? So what this meant is that showing up as my best, most honest, authentic, real, genuine self became a non-negotiable. Okay? And part of that was taking risks, becoming vulnerable, being courageous, not avoiding fear, not avoiding change, but learning about it, asking questions and getting super, super curious, okay? Developing my character. I started reading a ton and researching and working with people. We can't do it on our own, okay? We can do a lot on our own. But if we truly want to change and develop, okay, evolve, figure out what our passions are, we need experiences. We need other opinions and perspectives, guys. Okay? I can't tell you how many books I've read. Okay? I devoured literature from the people who I thought, man, they've got it together. Just like my client says, how did you do it, Kori? That's how I did it, guys. I made a commitment. Fear can't gain any ground unless we don't learn, okay? Unless we don't try, okay? Unless we don't take any risks towards what could potentially be uncomfortable and what we could potentially not do our best at, because anytime we do something for the first, second, third, even fourth, fifth, sixth time doesn't mean we can't go into it thinking we're going to do it right. We have to go into it thinking we're going to learn from it, gather data, gather information, and then regroup around it and see if it needs to be tried differently. And then the third thing that gives fear ground is giving up. Okay, that was not part of my earlier commitment to myself. Nope. What was the belief that I could figure it out, that I knew and expected that I was going to fail, but I could figure it out. I could pick myself back up, gather my resources, okay, my skills, my knowledge, anyone in my life who was willing to help, and figure it out. God, I love this stuff. I love this stuff, guys. And this is why my ABCs of Motivation course that I'm doing of mastery and motivation makes me so excited, and why I want so many people to be involved. If you're a mom and you're just like, You feel stuck. You don't know if you're doing okay. You feel stretched in a million different directions. You want to be there for your children. You want to love them, and sometimes you wonder if you do. And you feel like you're losing yourself. Okay? Whether you're an entrepreneur and you're stuck in trying to figure out what the next move is in your business. You're struggling with money and you don't know what next best step to take. It doesn't matter where you are in life, guys. We have to learn how to develop our character, make decisions, make commitments, not just on the day-to-day tasks, but who are we going to be? Because, guys, that's the foundation. That's the foundation that gives us the energy to pursue all this other stuff, okay? And make the changes and embody the changes. So people have been asking me, Kori, is your course still open for registration? And I have to apologize because I've been gone for the last 5 days, so I haven't been able to get out the information the way I've wanted to. I had closed registration yesterday. Guys, I'm opening it back up. I'm opening it back up for the next 3 days, okay? So you have between now and Friday to register. Everything that I've just talked about, learning how to manifest that energy and enthusiasm through the development of your character, getting past this mindset of pessimism and depression, okay, and moving into that attitude of enthusiasm, moving into the attitude of curiosity, moving into that attitude of determination, moving into that attitude of choice. When we fear, we are feeling like we're backed into a corner, that we don't have any choices, and we always do. And so it's flipping those switches, guys, that I'm going to teach you how to do, okay? So I want you guys to comment, let me know you're interested. You can email me, Kori@thedietdoc.com. Just post a message, private message me on Facebook. Let me know you're interested. I'll give you the registration details. A lot of people work with me one-on-one for mental edge and peak performance training. Guys, my hourly rate is $250. This class is 12 weeks long. It's $9.99. Or you can do 3 payments of $349. Don't miss out, please. This is something that will carry you through the rest of your lives. All right, guys, email me. This is going to be amazing. All right. Thank you. Have an awesome day.